So I want to talk about a couple of things here. There's Dead City Season 3. I do want to talk about that. Also, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3 and 4. There was an interview that came out with a lot of the cast, and they're talking about the future and everything like that. So I do want to get into a lot of that and, yeah, some other stuff with The Walking Dead. So definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Now, I also got to mention as well, before I get into the video, that there's going to be a Jason Voorhees, or I guess Friday the 13th, short film that is going to be premiering pretty much right away. If you didn't know, I think it was earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, but I feel like it was earlier this year. They announced that the Jason universe is going to be a thing where they're actually starting to make, like, you know, a bunch of content with Jason Voorhees, finally, like with Friday the 13th, like specifically, because it's been a while, right? Like since 2009 is when we got the last Friday the 13th, like, movie. So I'm really excited about this. I'm going to check out the short film. I'll probably review it, but I just want to see what it is first. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be premiering tonight, I believe, at 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, very soon. And I hope that this is like the beginning of like a bunch of Friday the 13th content, because this is something that I would totally cover. Like, I like the horror genre in general and stuff that's related to like zombies or even like slashers and anything like that, right? And obviously there hasn't really been a lot of that stuff over the last like however many years. Like obviously Halloween was a thing, but there really hasn't been a lot. So Friday the 13th, I think actually doing a lot of stuff here and making a universe like this, it's interesting. I'm really interested in what they're going to do here. And it's actually hilarious because Greg Nicotero, who obviously is like, you know, really famous on The Walking Dead, he actually designed the new look of Jason Voorhees, which I'm not like the biggest fan of, but we'll just have to wait and see, you know, how the character is, I guess, in movies and all of that. Like, I'm open to the look overall, but like at first, just like seeing the artwork, I was like, wait, that's not Jason. Like, what is that? Right? So we'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely very, you know, I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out to that because, you know, obviously I love the horror genre, and Friday the 13th is back, and I'm just excited because it's been way too long. Now, to get into what I wanted to talk about here, this could really be nothing. And honestly, like, I do want to say that this could be something that maybe they have done in the past with season 1 and 2. And that is that Dead City season 3, it looks like in terms of filming, they're going to be filming in Boston, which is, you know, where they've always kind of filmed anyways, at least for season 2. Season 1, they filmed somewhere else, but season 2, they filmed there. But it also looks like they're going to be filming in Paris, France. And I don't really understand the context of this. Again, it could literally be like just random stuff that they're doing there for the show. It might not have to do with like an actual setting, but I don't remember seeing this before for season 2 or season 1. I could be wrong, but I'm wondering if this sort of teases where the story is going for season 3. If maybe in that season, they're actually going to be going to Paris, France in some way. Like, I'm wondering about that. Like, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense based off of the story overall with all the characters. Like, you know, Daryl and Carol, they're a couple of years behind Dead City, right? So like, I mean, if in season 3 they even go to Paris, like they'll be a couple of years ahead, unless at some point in season 4 or whatever, they do a time jump of a couple of years, which I will also say Scott Gimple did mention something about the timeline recently, which was like, you know, the timeline is very like, it's not, you know, very like just this. It's kind of everywhere. It can be here or there or whatever. And so I do feel like they constantly change the timeline all the time just to make stories work. So I wouldn't be surprised if like Dead City season 3, say they went to France or something like that, to actually somehow see Daryl and Carol in that story or something like that, right? Like, I feel like if that happened, then it's like, yeah, they'll just make it work somehow. But yeah, I do find it really interesting, you know, the fact that Paris, France is here. Again, they literally could be filming just like random scenes and just like making it look like they're, you know, maybe in the woods or something like that. Like, it literally just could be a thing where it's like, well, it's cheaper to film there, so they're going to do that. They were just filming in France for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, right? For season 1 and 2. So maybe it's something that, you know, it's cheaper to do that there. There's some sort of agreements that they have with, you know, filming there, or I'm not sure. Like, again, I really don't know why it's saying that, but maybe this potentially is, you know, something that could tease what the story is for season 3. And I will say that would be pretty cool. Like, if you actually think about, like, I don't know how it would work overall, but like, if Maggie and Negan actually went to France, like, it would be really interesting if they went there but somehow came back. Or maybe there's something there with Madame Genet and all the variant walkers and stuff, which I know is not necessarily a thing anymore, but there was the whole, you know, World Beyond post-credit scene thing. There might be a connection there. Like, the one thing that I'm really looking for right now when it comes to, you know, Dead City and Daryl Dixon is how they're going to build up to like, you know, a crossover series type of thing, because I think they're likely going to start to set a lot of that up right now. And so like maybe this is a hint at that, or maybe this is just something that in season 2 or season 1, you know, of The Walking Dead Dead City, they've filmed in France before. Like maybe it was just like background shots, or again, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know, but I saw this from Sarah on Twitter, or I guess X, and I just thought it was really interesting. So I kind of wanted to bring it up because I wonder if this actually does mean something overall, right? So we'll have to wait and see. I also wanted to mention one thing here, and this actually comes from SFX magazine, but David Zabel actually talks about, you know, Rick and Daryl reuniting, and he does say, "My focus is on the world within this show. I don't consider it part of my responsibility to worry about when is Rick going to meet Daryl again. I sometimes have conversations with Scott Gimple about the wider Walking Dead universe, but for the most part, it's above my pay grade," which is something that, yeah, does make a lot of sense. Like, I feel like David Zabel's not going to know a lot about that. Like, maybe he knows some stuff, right? Like with some of the characters and like where things could go. I'm sure Gimple isn't just like not telling him anything, but he probably doesn't even want to say anything, right? Because it's just, it's again, it's not his responsibility for any of that. It's Scott Gimple who knows all of that. He's the one talking with AMC about all of this. And so like, it makes sense. I also want to talk about one other thing here, and I just found this really interesting because it really does sum up, I think, the Walking Dead universe right now, and I definitely recommend to go and follow, if you have Twitter or X anyways, to go follow at TWalkingDWorld on Twitter, just because, honestly, the account is really incredible in terms of just everything with The Walking Dead, like a lot of stuff on like the characters, like backgrounds on characters, different locations or whatever, and a lot of updates like this. And so I really do appreciate this because this really does sum up, I would say, you know, where The Walking Dead is right now. And so, and yeah, the post says, current status of The Walking Dead universe shows. Season 3 of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, set to premiere on September 7th. Season 4 of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon in production, filming in Spain, final season. Season 3 of Dead City is set to begin filming this fall in Massachusetts. And also, apparently, it's like September 8th, I believe, is actually the film date. And so, I mean, yeah, we kind of knew that because Jeffrey Morgan mentioned something about that. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I saw something anyways, but he mentioned that he was filming something for Dead City Season 3 before that. And yeah, I think that that's incredible. I think that we're going to see a lot of stuff from Season 3 of Dead City. What the account says here is, as of right now, there has been zero confirmation of any other shows in the Walking Dead universe despite rumors. Additional shows or seasons may be in development at AMC, but are not confirmed to be greenlit for production. There have been mentions and rumors of a variety of new series in the Walking Dead universe, including more Tales from the Walking Dead universe, a crossover series, comedic series, musical series, and additional seasons of shows like The Ones Who Live. However, none of these have been officially greenlit. So I will say when it comes to that, like, I mean, first of all the rumors out there of all, you know, other shows, I know there was rumors of like a Gabriel and Aaron spinoff. That's not happening. I really do not believe that's happening at all. Like, I just, I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. To me, a Gabriel and Aaron spinoff, like, I like the characters a lot. The characters are incredible. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense to have those characters lead their own show. Yes, that one episode was really incredible, but like, you just can't have every character leading their own show. And I think the one thing that these spinoffs have really shown us is that people really want the characters together. And like, everyone was basically on board to do more and more seasons of The Walking Dead. Like, the only people that weren't were Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera, but everyone else, they were on board to do like multiple seasons of The Walking Dead still. Like, that was sort of the plan, was like AMC wanted to, like, the original plan was to have Daryl and Carol leave, I guess, go to France or go wherever, I guess. I think originally it wasn't there. It was just somewhere else. Like, they were just going to leave and do their own spinoff for a bit and then come back. But Maggie and Negan were going to lead The Walking Dead, and then there was going to be all the other characters there still. So there were going to be other storylines, like a bunch of other things happening, right? Like, they were going to be at the Commonwealth still, and like, who knows what was going to happen. But like, that was originally the plan. And then out of nowhere, they're like, no, we're just going to end it here and then do all these spinoffs. And I think, like, I do like where they're going right now. But the one thing is like, if they would have kept The Walking Dead going, I think that people would have been way more excited, because people like to watch these shows when all the characters are all together. It's just something that, like, they're really strong characters, but like, when you split them up, they're not as strong. And like, yes, the shows are still doing great, but it's something that, like, if they're all together, it does even better, right? So I think that's the thing about a Gabriel and Aaron spinoff. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's just like, I don't know. Like, you know, I love the characters. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. As for more Tales from the Walking Dead universe, I don't know what's going on with this. I almost want to do a video talking about this because, like, the whole announcement of it was a little weird, you know, like more Tales from the Walking Dead universe almost felt kind of like, you know, like the webisodes that aired like however many years ago, which is really cool. If that's actually what they're going to do with that, I would love that because that is something that I want to see a lot more of, right? Like I want to see just like these random episodes filling in the blanks of like certain locations or stories here and there of The Walking Dead, stories in like France or Spain or just wherever, right? Even going back in time and all of that to explain certain things. I think that'd be really incredible. I think that that's something that you want to do. Tales of the Walking Dead was basically, you know, it was a show that was like the webisodes, but a little bit more official. And I think that that's sort of where it failed in that sense. Like, people want those webisodes and like those extra stories as just like extra stories and not like a real series unless it's really going to matter overall. And obviously I'm not going to get into my thoughts on Tales of the Walking Dead, but I think, yeah, they just kind of messed up with a lot of things there. But I would say, you know, more Tales from the Walking Dead universe. If it is something that is like a webisode type of thing, that would be really incredible. A crossover series, I mean, yeah, like that is obviously something that is sort of, that's a big rumor right now. And it does seem like based off of what everyone's saying that like something is likely going to be happening here. I just think it makes a lot of sense. Like, are you actually going to announce another spinoff with the characters just somewhere else? Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, to me, the next show that's coming out probably in 2027 or 28 is going to be a crossover series with a lot of the characters. Now, it might not be Rick and Michonne right away. Maybe they eventually show up, but I feel like that's likely what's going to be happening is probably that. As for the whole comedic series and musical series, to me, I don't think that's happening at all. I really don't. I think that was just Gimple talking about whatever. I know that Denai Guerrera actually mentioned that, I think it was last year, you know, she was saying that she was talking with Gimple about stuff like that with The Walking Dead, and I know the musical thing came up. I just don't see it happening because I just don't see a lot of interest there. I've talked about the whole musical thing before. I've actually talked about it and people were really just like, what? No, like really, really upset about it. So I just don't see it happening. I really do not see a musical happening. I think people would really be really upset about that. And The Walking Dead right now is trying to build their story up and try to build a lot of hype. And I just think doing that would be like, wait, what? Why? Like, why do that, right? So I don't think that's happening. And also an additional seasons of shows like The Ones Who Live. However, none of these have been officially greenlit. I think, yeah, to do more seasons of The Ones Who Live would be absolutely incredible, but I just don't know. I don't know. I really feel like having Rick and Michonne with the other characters is something that everyone wants. I feel like if Rick just returns in any way, everyone's going to be excited for sure. Like, I see that happening, but I also just think, yeah. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. I just wanted to talk about a couple of random things here because there was a lot of stuff that was obviously, I guess, news today for The Walking Dead. And I just didn't want to do like individual videos on like everything. I just kind of wanted to put all of it together in one video. And so I wanted to give thoughts on like everything here. And yeah, the current state of the Walking Dead universe, I think is, it's better right now than it has been in a while. And I'm really interested in the Dead City season 3 thing, like with filming in Paris. Like, it really might not mean anything at all, but I just find it interesting. Like, why are they filming in Paris? Like, again, I assume that it's something to do with like walkers or whatever. Like, maybe the actors aren't actually going to be over there, but like, I don't know. I just find that a little weird, but maybe they've done that before. I don't know. I guess we'll see, but definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.